Zaz, you've been doing this for a long time.
Really long, yeah.
You're a basketball expert. I don't know how the daily loud-mouthing goes for you in terms of regret, but do you feel like you already owe the NBA, not just the Lakers, but the NBA, an apology?
I don't know why you're saying that. And this isn't the first time where it's apologize, say you're sorry. That's what we have to do. If you think something's going to happen, that's how sports is.
Okay, but are you embarrassed?
Sorry.
So you're not embarrassed though, because you had very strong.
That's a better question.
Oh, well, thank you for correcting me when you've been wrong on everything you've said about basketball.
But I'm apologizing. Who am I apologizing to?
The fans.
The fans.
For
the
what?
league.
For
Adam
what?
Silver.
For what?
You said the NBA first round's a dud. You said that a couple days ago, and they certainly haven't been.
That's very fair.
Thank you.
Okay.
You ought to be saying hi-yo Silver.
The first couple days were a dud. The last couple days have been good.
Was that a Lone Ranger joke?
Yes.
Did you just
It fit like a
for,
glove.
for Adam Silver? You just did. Do you guys know the joke that he was just making there? Do you guys have? I just want to have a reference point for. I have not heard the Lone Ranger joked about in a while.
Tonto.
I'm not gonna lie. I know the phrase "Hi ho Silver." Oh wait, but I don't know what it's from.
Well,
so you're teaching me.
Yeah, Zaz has been an active and open Adam Silver critic, so now he ought to be shouting hi-yo Silver on a bended knee, as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
why? What is Adam Silver getting credit for right
Why
now?
would he be doing it on a bent knee?
Because,
why you can't be on a horse?
He's on a bent knee, not Adam Silver.
When you're saying hi-yo Silver, is that a command for a horse?
Yes, Silver was his horse. Hi-yo Silver away. He's exhorting his horse. He didn't use a whip. He could communicate with his horse. That's the way it worked back then.
I wish they did that now.
Yeah, they should.
Hey, come on.
Like jockeys on racehorses.
Come on,
Instead
pick
of
it
a
up.
whip, they ought to be going, hi-yo Silver,
When do you think we
away."
lost that ability to commute that way?
I don't know.
The car. The wagon.
It could be. I don't know about that.
I saw a guy on the highway this morning slapping his car. It was weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us anything more about the Lone Ranger? It was
one of my earliest memories. I don't even know when it was on TV. Black and white goes without saying. But I remember, and Tonto, you couldn't get away with this now. His sidekick was an American Indian man named Tonto.
You couldn't get away with having a Native American on the show?
Well, not made up like Tonto was.
Yeah, I think the word Tonto means dumb, doesn't it?
I have no idea.
But
he had face paint and things.
Well,
that
was he Native American? Do we know if he was actually Native
That
American?
other guy was Italian, right?
Who played Tonto? I don't know that.
The Crying Indian, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Well, there was Italian cowboys.
The other guy, the Crying Indian, was that a national commercial or was that a local commercial?
PSA for littering.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, I
so
remember that.
wait a minute.
But he was Italian.
Yeah.
So the Native American who was weeping in a litter commercial was Italian.
Yeah.
Is Tonto the same person that jumps on it?
Basketball is back, Jack. Time for our favorite winter sport. The summertime is over, so let's head down to the court. Time for the tip-off. Give me fast breaks on the attack. Will you shoot a three or take it to the rack? Basketball is back, Jack. It's a dream shake down in the post, or a killer cross you love the most. When the offense tries to run and gun, is it man to man or box and one? It's big plays and talking smack. That's how you know that basketball is back, Jack. Let me hear you say basketball, basketball, basketball. Basketball is back, Jack. 360 dunks and pick and rolls. And we're gonna watch it every day till they raise the Larry O. Hard fouls and hook shots. A dagger three and hack a shack. If you say this game's the best, I'll say Zagak. Basketball Basketball is back, Jack. Basketball is back, Jack. Basketball is back. Basketball is back, Jack.
I need a clarification. Was Tonto in the old Lone Ranger series that Greg Cody just mentioned? Was he actually Native American or was he Sicilian?
Mohawk from Canada.
Yes, Jay Silverheels.
That's correct. That's correct. That's his name. Yeah.
That's his actual name.
What is real, Tony? What are the facts here? Because I have some fear when I send you to the internet in the modern age, because there's a lot of stuff that cannot be trusted right now on the internet.
I agree.
I am afraid of the internet. I don't trust the internet. There are a whole lot of people in MAGA saying that the President of the United States staged an assassination attempt, and I don't know what I'm looking at when I look at pictures, what's real and what's not real, and this is only going to get worse. What is the fact regarding Tonto of the old Lone Ranger series?
Well, Tonto was Native American from Canada, but the Crying Indian commercial, the Keep America Beautiful commercial of littering in 1971 was portrayed by Iron Eyes Cody, who was born Espera Oscar de Corti to Sicilian immigrant parents in Louisiana, so second-generation Italian-American.
And that was a national commercial, the Crying Native American litter commercial. Everyone listening to this would know what I'm talking about there. There's not a generation that missed that. Like, that's not a musty reference from the 1970s.
No, it is. It's absolutely musty and cobwebbed, but it's still so iconic because he was Italian. If he was Native American, I'd be like, okay, yeah, sure. But he's Italian.
Mm-hmm. Who made it a salad kind of guy.
Attaboy.
Are your catchphrases ready?
They were always ready.
All right, let's do it right now then. Let's not waste any more time, because I was going to start with what I believe to be something that Dwayne Wade has done that I've never seen him do. I've been covering him for, it's going to be, 2000? Okay, we're going more than 20 years, okay? And just remember the specifics of when he was on our show every couple of weeks, because he was coming up and the fame hadn't quite grabbed him yet.
That was a big deal. You guys used to have him on a regular basis.
Yeah, no, he did a regular show, but he was also somebody at the time. Like, I just remembered that the things that were happening around him all the time where everybody would come up to him and say, please don't change. Please don't.
He was so sweet.
Please don't. But these words that I'm hearing him use here, they're not change, but I just want to frame it for the audience correctly, because if you think Dwayne Wade has come to the Pat McAfee all the smoke game and doesn't want to win, you don't know what Dwayne Wade is doing with this part of his career as he searches for, the stuff that made him great a long time ago. These guys, when they retire, ownership ain't going to do it for him. He's got to compete. He's got to be competing against somebody in a way that's active. He wants to be very good as a broadcaster. There are good jobs in streaming right now. You see who's getting them. None of them have the credentials of Dwayne Wade. Like, all these people, Blake Griffin, everybody else, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, none of them have the credentials that Dwayne Wade has, and he is here to remind you when Patrick Beverly speaks ill of him, please remember who you're talking about here.
And it was just taking a moment and I'm tired of people playing on my name a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I understand everyone has their favorites, and that's all great. We all do. But, you're talking to somebody within 5 years of his NBA career, had a Hall of Fame career.
Dang.
I'm just going to let everybody else go look at what I did in 5 years. And so, don't play with me. I'm not the one to play with. Like, I'm the most coolest, calmest, humblest, quietest dude about what I've done. But if we want to talk, then I can. And that was just like an overall conversation to anybody out there that like to play with my name. Like, I'm going to go back and do my thing and go back into my life. You stop playing on my name, man, because I worked hard to build it. And I know I'm an outsider that came in out of nowhere. I get it. I get it, guys. I wasn't all nothing in high school and college. And I know I came out of nowhere, but don't play with me, man. Stop playing with my name.
I haven't seen Zaz him put his card on the table that way. In fact, I've never heard anybody say it that way, that Dwayne Wade had a Hall of Fame career within 5 years. He's doing his own publicity there.
He really could have just said in the first 3 years, because years 4 and 5 were not very helpful. But the part that is most interesting to me, and this has been going on for a long time, and for whatever reason, now has been the tipping point where now, like, he's angry about it. He's annoyed with it. This has been going on for far too long. I don't know the answer to it, Dan, where for some reason, and it's not just former players. Lately, it's been former players, but fans, media, whatever. There is this comfort in not acknowledging how great this player was. The way that he has spoken about, the way that you've heard recently, people take shots at him for someone with his credentials and what he accomplished. It's odd to me how he keeps getting thrown into these conversations that are disrespectful to him.
Which conversations are we talking about? Who's being disrespectful?
It's always the Harden stuff. That, it's been 6 months since we've done the Wade Harden thing. Let's bring it back up. That one continues to keep coming up.
And the weird thing is, like, Harden hasn't won anything, right? So it's like when you put those two guys together, it's like you look at the rings, not to do the rings conversation, but like you look at what Dwayne Wade has done in the playoffs, the clutch moments, the absolute killer he was versus Harden.
Yeah.
And his conversation about the playoffs, and it's like, how can you really compare these two guys?
I mean, if you want to talk about Harden, as
because one of them's an MVP. Like that. Like I'm not caping up for James Harden here, but is that what's he insulted about there? Because that's him baring his teeth. He never does that. And I'm not even talking about my name. I'm talking about when the janitors and everyone were saying to him, don't change, it's because they couldn't believe how humble he is. This is fact. It's not arrogance, it's fact. First 5 years of my career, I'm a Hall of Famer. I've never heard anyone say it that way.
I think at a certain point, being humble only gets you so far, and I think you get to a point in your career. I think he's just over it. And by the way, Dwayne Wade Finals MVP. I think though the playing on his name, it just feels like he went on this podcast and he really wants to pop off and be this podcaster, and maybe he's got a grand design of building up his media career, and you have to kind of say things a little bit more effusively and a little more braggadociously than you do when you're playing and your game is speaking for you on the court.
Yeah, for sure. I think people are always playing with my boy name, though. His statue went up. We had something to say. His kid want to be his kid. We got something to say. People are always making, for some reason, comfortable statements about Dwayne Wade, and he's had enough. I'm the same way. I don't like to brag on what I be doing, but at a certain point of time, I'm going to have to let folks know.
Can you guys explain to me, though, who he's talking to there? I want some names on
Patrick Beverly.
Yeah,
he's talking to you.
Yeah, most recently he's speaking about Patrick Beverly because he's the one who most recently did the James Harden comparison, and then Patrick Beverly started talking about, I'm a better three-point. Like Patrick Beverly started to list the things that he is better or was better at Dwayne Wade in his career.
Well, I can see Wade being upset by that, because that's a direct, ridiculous.
I mean, he got
comparison
cut
and
from the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
Patrick Beverly got cut.
He got cut from the Shanghai Sharks or whoever he went over the seas to play with.
I'm saying when Wade was coming through and it was his team, he couldn't make his team.
Yeah, it was in 2010 and the Heat cut him. Yeah.
But other than Patrick Beverly, is he manufacturing the idea that people are dragging his name? Because I hear a lot of that. The only criticism I've heard of Dwayne Wade's career, which I think is ridiculous, is that he needed Shaq to win the first ring and LeBron to win the next two. I don't think that's true.
That's not ridiculous. He did need that help, and he got the second group of people because he was tired of not being able to do it himself and said so.
Okay, everybody needs help, though.
Yeah, and if LeBron wasn't scared of J.J. Barea, Wade would have been Finals MVP again that year.
Ron Harper was just on Cam and Mace, It Is What It Is, last week and said without Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan wouldn't have a single ring.
You saw that on It Is What It Is, right? Did you see Trista almost? She was in the middle of a firestorm.
A brouhaha.
Yeah. Do you know what the story? Do you know what happened?
No, I do not. I don't know.
What do you know about Cameron? What information do you have on It Is What It Is or Trista's career in general?
I don't know.
Stop playing on my name, Greg.
See, you're dragging
Tired
me
of
into
everybody
this.
playing on my name.
I'm not dragging your name.
Greg, tell him about the purple, the pink fur, the purple tape.
I don't know anything about that.
The colors.
You tell me.
Jay Uso, I'm coming for you, sucker.
Okay, I can't be involved in this conversation because I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about.
So Cameron, do you know the podcast It Is What It Is?
No.
It is fun, it's different, and Trista is occasionally hosting it.
Excellent, good.
And a fight broke out with one of their hosts.
A physical
last week.
fight?
Yeah, he was attacked. Cameron isn't I don't think people generally want to beef with him, but a professional wrestler took him out, and Trista was nearby. Was it dangerous for you?
No, I was ready to squabble, but I was afraid that I was going to jump on the pile and it was going to hurt my guy Cameron. By the way, I heard on 2 separate occasions, once from Cam, also once from Carl, that you actually started Cameron's sports media career, Dan.
I have no knowledge of that.
What?
Somebody will have to explain to
He
me.
was on Highly Questionable, and it was his first time of anyone taking him seriously to talk about sports and not rap. You were the catalyst. You were the LeBron James to the Bronny James.
Good job, Dan.
Cameron.
Good job.
Well done.
It's
Launching
a good,
careers.
It's a good podcast.
He's in your tree.
I would not have taken credit for him because I did not know that was something that had sprouted from our tree. I was not aware of that. Thank you. That's flattering. But there was no danger to you, no harm to you or your career because I've never been in the middle of something like that.
Do you want to, like, Greg, would you like to see what happened? Because Trista was standing on a table.
Yeah, I would like to see it because I want to be sure that it's a legit beef and not contrived.
What?
Because
can you set it up, Trista? Can you set up what happened here?
Look,
I can set it up.
This guy's a menace. This is a professional wrestler. It's not going to be contrived.
Okay.
So we had an interview, and from moment one, it was about a 17, 18-minute interview, and I could tell right away this thing was going to go left. And you talk about playing on somebody's name. I don't mean to, like, sprinkle some hate on my guy Cameron because I ride for him 10 toes down, but he was clearly playing on Jey Uso's name the whole time. Just kind of
disrespectful.
Very disrespectful, just kind of subtle digs. Didn't really want to be there, didn't want Jey Uso to be there. I was trying to break the ice, trying to really, like, keep the mood light, and it turned into a little bit of a melee.
Listen, Mace, I don't have any more questions. Nick, I'm more mad at you because you keep bringing Saturday WrestleMania here, and you don't bring us a Sunday WrestleMania.
Say less, Cam. I ain't got to be
talking to my
here.
producer, bro. You keep bringing Sunday. I need a Sunday WrestleMania. I don't smell what the Usos cooking, and at the end.
Top ropes.
He tripped.
It's awesome.
That's great.
So what is
Welcome
the problem?
back to It Is What It Is.
What is the problem, Cody? What is your assessment is what now after having seen it and after a segment in which we're talking about you can't trust the internet?
I loved it. It looks real as rain. I got nothing wrong to say about that. It's also great for the podcast. Don't get me wrong. But
Get about 50 million views, all those clips.
Of course, but it looks real.
It's called It Is What It Is, not Don't Get Me Wrong.
I was jealous at what a good idea it was. When I saw it, I'm like, why didn't we do that with the MMA guy?
Because that guy would really
Holy
kill us.
shit.
He wouldn't have stopped. He would have kept punching you, and nobody could pull you off.
We should have set that up for you and him, though. That would have been fun.
Yeah, I would have. That would have been wonderful. As performance art, I was jealous of the idea.
Then Dan's going to push you.
The Dwayne Wade thing, though, Zaslow, we've talked before about when these guys are done with their playing careers, especially the guys that played at the heights that Dwayne Wade played, okay? There is nothing that replaces that in retirement, nothing that will ever come close, nothing that feels like any of that. You will spend the rest of your life chasing something that you will never again get close to. Many of these guys are addicted to competition, addicted to it. That's how you get that good at it. And so in his post-career, I don't think Dwayne Wade will be satisfied by being an owner for the Utah Jazz. Like, these guys are now competing in that stratosphere. You know, Brady owns a team. They're all creating media companies. They want to play big because there's a real media opportunity now if you have a certain name. By pedigree, Dwayne Wade is as good as anybody who tries broadcasting. Like, it's the greatest players do not become the broadcasters. It's still shocking to me to see Vince Carter, Carmelo, and Tracy McGrady, and they're not quite on the tier with Dwayne Wade, even though I guess we'd make an argument for McGrady because they're very similar players. But still, what he is as a broadcaster has more credentials than anyone speaking about him. Just about, right? Maybe Shaq, maybe Barkley, but there just aren't very many.
But it's more about credentials. Like, I think Wade on air, he did the Olympic Games. I think he had a stint with one studio show, and he's been fine. I don't think he stands out as a broadcaster.
I think so far he has stood out depending on who he is next to.
That's correct. That's exactly right. When he was with Stan, you saw it. When he was with Stan Van Gundy on Prime, everyone saw it. Look, these are funny and interesting ingredients, all of them, okay? I watch Blake Griffin, and I'm like, that dude's really funny. God almighty, is that a starched fit for him, trying to fit inside of they got him Steve Nash for some chemistry, but trying to fit inside of, well, there's Dirk over there doing the show in his second language, and he's a huge star, and that's why he's there, because we're going to just throw names at this, and we don't care if they're good broadcasters. Blake is stifled, like obviously stifled. That guy could be a stand-up comedian, and there's just not room on that show to move around. Dwayne Wade has never been good at the broadcasting, like real scintillating, fascinating quote as a talker, none of that stuff. But he's intent on being good at it. He knows that you have to study it. It's important for him to be good at it and then have the chances where, oh, that felt different working with Stan. Look at all the praise I'm getting. Everyone told me how good that was. And it's just because he's comfortable and trusts the guy next to him that they're going to throw the ball back and forth safely, because you're not going to embarrass me on television. Especially, Dwayne Wade cannot have the confidence for broadcasting that he has for basketball. It's not possible. And so he wants to be good at it. But this right here is just him pissed off. Mm-hmm. Like, even if we play this back, you will hear, okay, he walks it back almost immediately, because it's not his nature to have to remind everyone how good he is, but he feels the need to remind them because he thinks they forgot.
And it was just taking a moment and just, I'm tired of people playing on my name a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I understand everyone has their favorites, and that's all great. We all do. But, you know, you're talking to somebody within 5 years of his NBA career, had a Hall of Fame career. I'm just going to let everybody else go look at what I did in 5 years. And so, like, don't play with me. I'm not the one to play with. Like, I'm the most coolest, calmest, humblest, quietest dude about what I've done. But if we want to talk, then I can. And that was just like an overall conversation to anybody out there that like to play with my name. Like, I'm going to go back and do my thing and go back into my life. But stop playing on my name, man, because I worked hard to build it. And I know I'm an outsider that came in out of nowhere. I get it. I get it, guys. I wasn't all nothing in high school and college. And I know I came out of nowhere, but don't play with me, man. Stop playing with my name.
I see a guy who, at this point in his life, does more than want to still compete. This is a guy who still wants the spotlight, who still wants to be relevant and doesn't want to fade, because owners compete, but owners tend to be background, and he wants to still be out front, and more power to him. He deserves to be.
This conversation has been going on for a long time with the Wade Harden comparison. There was a tipping point clearly recently. Like, I know Trista is saying, all right, well, maybe he wants to get out there in the podcast game. I think it's less than that. I think the difference here is he doesn't like that Pat Beverly said it. I think it's very clear that for whatever reason, like Pat Beverly's talking about Dwayne Wade's my guy, you know, whatever. Clearly, Dwayne Wade doesn't feel the same way. I think he's annoyed that Pat Beverly stuck his nose into it.
100%.
Was Pat Beverly a highly or a more highly lauded high school player than Dwayne Wade out of Chicago? Because I feel like Pat Beverly was.
Oh, maybe it comes a little bit from there. I mean, he was an undrafted free agent rookie with the Heat. He didn't make the team, went overseas, came back into the league. But I didn't realize the Chicago part of it.
In the clip, you hear him say, like, I'm going to go back to my life. So I don't know if it's as much as, like, an outward thing of, like, I want to get in this game, as much as, like, I'm going to step out of my personal life and all the things that I got going on to come out and say what I got to say because everybody's playing on my name. And I'm going to go back to living my great life over here in ownership and money and family and all this stuff. And you guys are just going to know this is how I stand on it.
Pat Beverly was a 4-star recruit ranked as high as 59th overall prospect at one point.
The Chicago thing is always interesting because guys from Chicago do proudly compete about Chicago basketball. But there were a couple of things you guys said there that I would dispute and want to pick apart. First of all, Cody's saying owners compete. They do, but what athletes get is daily applause for what they're doing. That's what podcasts do. Owners have to wait till the end of the season with a whole lot of grinding in shadows to find out if they won, and he's Utah. They've got a long way to go. Right. Whatever competing is there, maybe he'll get to it one day. It doesn't feed the furnace that requires the daily some of these guys like sparks and fights. Like they like to, they miss the physical contact of Dwayne Wade says, if I hadn't got injured, I was thinking about being Michael Jordan. Like if my body hadn't betrayed me, that's the way Dwayne Wade was thinking about himself. I believe he needs something post-career that feeds the identity when he's already in the history of having to remind people what his name was and tell them the specifics of, do you know what it took to build this name? I was not highly recruited. I was not somebody in college who was groomed for this. I went to Marquette and I earned it because everyone saw in the tournament, holy shit, as an individual player, he can do it by himself. He gets drafted with Bosch and then has a Hall of Fame career and didn't actually need anything other than Avery Johnson, never stopping the doubling of Shaq and the worst officiated series of all time to cement his
I mean, that's
name.
neither here nor there. You don't have to talk about the refereeing.
Remember going into that series, everybody's gonna see what a great defender Josh Howard is. that was the story going in, and Wade looked like Michael Jordan.
I was just like Dwayne Wade when I started, because I've been doing this sports thing for a little while now. And so some folks in the music industry been playing on my name saying I was dead. So that's why you can catch Blue Flame right now available on iTunes.
How did that just happen? How did that
That's
just
professional.
I didn't know.
Right
I didn't
there.
notice it. What did he
That
do?
was not
School of Amino
professional.
Hassan.
That was
Learn.
not professional.
Learn.
Roy,
What?
no, guy don't want to learn, guy don't want to earn. Guy
Well
wants
said.
to earn without learning.
Speaking of which.
What was that? That was Juju speaking only to get that promo off. You got to be more subtle than
So
that.
seamless. I didn't even notice.
Oh, that was slick.
Subtly's overrated.
I thought he was dead.
How you can't throw a music promo in the first 30 minutes of the show that has
did.
nothing to do
Yes.
with what we're talking about.
Well
That is
done.
the second time you've compared yourself to Dwayne Wade in this segment.
Also, people playing with my name because people are saying that Cameron and or Mace ghost wrote for me, which did not happen. I write all my own lyrics. That's all I have to say about that.
I don't understand the defiance that's happening around
She's doing
here.
it too. She's
Right.
now
Another
promoting
music
her own
promo,
music.
yeah.
Yeah, good
That's
job.
what she
Good
just
job.
did.
Yeah, that's
man.
exactly what she did. It'd be like me talking about the Great Cody Show podcast. You just don't do that. You know, there's a place to promote yourself, but it's not here.
All
on
right.
somebody else's show.
Go ahead, play it.
Got a big mouth, say what I wanna say. I'm the main event, Sunday, not Saturday. I'm not your cocktail chick at the Mandalay or sitting table for the phonies takes like Vandalay. Not for labels, also not for favors off of Ray Belay. Before I get the spray, I gotta say allegedly. And I'm not judging either way. What's your flavor? Flavor's hard to keep a secret, baby. Now you like babyface. Don't take the fall like they try to do to Cassius Clay. You already did, the game's rigged anyway. Damn, Tris, wild girl gotta catch a stray. Jump up on the table if she don't put the mitts away. Universe is rocky, don't get cocky, Marciano. Undefeated, Benavides, locking here is Luciano. And it's been a minute out like Diddy. Mad underselling, let me tell you about my city. MPO, we rep the Rose, not the Madison Square. Come from anywhere to here, you better change what you wear. Bubbles, the raincoats, supersized umbrellas. And the critics from your city better watch what they will tell ya. I've heard it all, PO's not cracking. Ain't nobody rapping, ain't no even blacks. And it's all picket fences, that shit ain't true. We only leave it to Beaver up at OSU. Eugene, yellow and green ducks, step on the scene. What said we even got the best sticky green? Yup, It's the Blazers, y'all. Same team that blaze blunts in the Blazer, y'all. You know who I'm
Jailblazers
talking about,
reference.
Sheed and Dame. And I tell you, Denny about to be a household name, and we critically acclaimed. Still having fun. It's the same city that invented Air Force Ones.
See.
Damn.
Very nice.
Cody's shoulders moved, which is the highest compliment there is in hip hop.
That was great. It was fantastic. I love the Cassius Clay and Marciano.
Your
references.
glasses
Thank
are
you.
smoking. Your glasses
fire.
are
I know that.
on fire.
And that rap was smoking as well.
Man, you're a real fan of lyrics. I appreciate you really keying in on some pieces.
Oh yeah, that's I love that.
Universe
No,
is undefeated.
that was super good. I enjoyed that.
He especially liked Marciano. A shout out to his time
Yes,
in
Rocky.
in boxing.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about something that happened the other day that I saw that I wanted to ask you guys about because we talked a while ago at last baseball All-Star game. Jacob Mizorowski, everybody was complaining because he pitched like 7 games or something, and he was just thrown in the All-Star game because he throws everything 104 miles an hour. He hit Kyle Stowers on the hand with a pitch that was 102 miles an hour. Now, Stowers, you okay there, Zaz?
Yeah.
What happened there with the microphone? Like, why couldn't you do that quietly? What happened where you decided?
I have no control if the microphone is going to be loud when I move it.
You're a professional
Yeah.
who's been doing this for 25 years.
Supposedly.
That's something that...
I mean, the others, they all learn from me.
Do you have a nick on your neck? Is your neck bleeding?
Come on. I mean, really?
I noticed it.
We didn't get all of this out of the way yesterday.
I wasn't here.
We're doing this again.
I wasn't here yesterday. I was on a plane. I didn't see the show. Is that a nick on your neck?
Yes.
Is that a
What a knife fight.
Nick Bobick.
Shaving.
Still a lot of stubble.
What is the Nick Bobick?
It's a 60s song. The name game. Nick Bobick. Banana Bofick. Me, my Momick.
I can't even
Nick.
keep up with him.
Boom, ba-da-da, boom, boom.
As soon as I get this one, he drops it. Now I got to go find another old song.
The name game. Shirley Bassey, I think. Who's got me on that? Shirley Bassey, right?
You can't be serious.
Yeah.
You cannot be serious right now.
It's called the name game.
No, you can't be serious throwing it into that room with your eyes smoking from what Trista just did.
Right.
And ask them a question that they're not going to have the answer to, because I'm not joking when I say what you just said to that room might as well have been said in Mandarin for the way that they understood what you were asking them for.
Okay, but you just proved that the beauty of rap lyrics is that sometimes you go way back. So in your next rap, you got to work in Nick Bobick. It's going to be perfect.
I might.
There you go. And I'll be listening for it.
Shirley Ellis.
Shirley Ellis. Damn it. Okay, I had the first name. It's been a long time.
All right, do me the
60
favor,
years.
Chris, please, because we don't. I'm assuming we don't have it back in my day.
It's in the incubator still.
All right.
You know, the NFL draft, you haven't mentioned the NFL draft yet. It's actually a big thing this week in sports. That's occupied my time most of the last several days.
Okay, but because you don't have it back in my day, I want the music for back in my day, and just off the cuff, please tell us the story that you want to tell us about what this song is from whenever it is this song was.
The name game, I think, was popular in the very early 60s. I could be off by a couple of years, but I was a young boy, and I remember driving. My dad and my mom were driving in their car. I think he had a 1957 Chevy Bel Air at the time. They're in the front. I'm in the back. I don't know where Uncle Dick was because I was alone in the car with them. But the name game came on the radio, and it was my favorite song at the time. So I'm singing along with the name game, and my parents had such a thing, such a delight.
What is the name game? Rosanna, Babana?
Yeah, that song, right. Nick Bobick. And so I'm singing that. My parents are delighted, and my dad was distracted, and he ran into another car. This was right in front of a royal castle on, where was it? Was it Bird Road? We were definitely in Miami. I have no recollection. I think at the time we were still living with Uncle Buddy in Miami. That's why we were in that area.
There's an Uncle Buddy? When did Uncle Buddy? I didn't know there was an Uncle Buddy.
Well,
Dan's writing down Uncle Buddy.
I've never heard of
Re-
Uncle Buddy
okay,
before. I'm learning during this
Rest
back
in
in my
peace.
day.
Uncle Buddy was famous for being divorced and then remarrying the same woman. And right there,
Even in that day,
yeah, and
you'd think he would just be married and do his thing.
yeah, no, they got divorced and then remarried. But there was a
True love.
thing, a river right near the house where we lived, and I remember my mother walking, and in the river were dozens of dead cats. And that's the thing I remember.
Definitely no rivers
was gonna
around
say.
Bird Road. Just want to let you know
Okay,
that.
then
The canal, maybe.
Okay, the house was.
Are we just skipping over the dead
river.
cat part?
Yeah, we don't know. It's a mystery. to
There's
this
no
day.
rivers in
know.
Westchester.
What does this have to do with the name game?
Well, because I'm saying.
Let him cook, Dan.
Just a thing. That was the time. That was the time. We were living in Miami, and we were driving. The Royal Castle was in the
You
background.
mentioned those
the cats.
details, yes.
And so that's it. And
Zaslow, what are your thoughts here? You're looking at him, it feels like with judgment.
I'm befuddled.
Yeah.
With this story.
Yeah.
What does it have to do with what we're talking about?
Uncle Bud?
What were we talking about?
Uncle Bud?
Rest in power.
Uncle Buddy. Nobody called him Bud.
It should be.
Come on.
Should have been Bud.
Uncle Buddy is my mother's brother. My mother had a sister and a brother.
Ruth Doogie.
Auntie Arlene, Ruth Doogie, Arlene Doogie, Buddy Doogie. And they're all gone now. Long gone, as a matter of fact. That's the way life works. Anyway, you can stop that music now. I'm done with my story.
Okay, so the name game.
Shirley Ellis.
I
not
can't.
Bessie.
Congratulations, Trista, on the compliment. There's never been one like it in the history of hip hop. He gave you a shoulder shrug. I was dancing a little while you rapped and compared you to the name game, which makes him think of all of the dead cats that were in the river that doesn't exist in Miami that he's talking about.
Feel free to use that imagery in your next rap as well.
Music is a portal.
Yeah,
and that's
right.
it transported you right back
It really
to
did.
Uncle Buddy.
Yes,
As
it did.
I was saying, Kyle Stowers is in the batter's box.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, talking baseball.
That story.
Were the cats floating?
Well, they were visible. My mom was traumatized. She was never a cat person, but she comes back to the house and reports that she'd just seen dozens of dead cats. I don't know what happened.
She never had a driver's license, though.
No, she never drove.
How was she driving?
She wasn't driving. She was walking.
Okay.
The river was right near Uncle Buddy's house.
Is Doogie a middle name or is it tradition?
No, it's a surname. Dhooge. Weird name, right?
I thought it was banter.
Like Doogie Howser type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Well said.
Number 7.
Anyway, how's Stowers doing?
So he's in the batter's box, and the pitch that hits him on the hand, on the fingers, if it had been the fat of the hand, I'm guessing his hands explode. But just being the
Just
fingers,
broken, maybe not explode.
But when I think of pain in that sport, I've told you before that the greatest pain was a catcher who had a fractured testicle. That seems like it would be the worst. But this is second for me, and it's why. It's basically why I stopped playing baseball. I'm going to tell you the short story, but David Salisbury ended up being like a high school shot putting champion. He was just bigger than all the other kids, okay? I'm already a little bit afraid of the ball. He's wild, but he throws harder than anybody in the league, and he hits me on the right elbow as I'm coming out of the batter's box, like trying to get out of the way. He hits me on the right elbow, and it hurts.
Do you rub it?
Yeah, of course. I'm not Don Baylor. I'm not walking to first base.
Did your mom
stoic.
kiss it after?
Put a little dirt on it?
No, I was just my worst fears had come true, but I didn't even dream my next fears because I've got a very small lead off of first base. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not. But he tries to pick me off and hits me again on the elbow as I'm diving back into
Now
the
you
bag.
got to charge.
If you didn't have a big lead, you wouldn't have had to dive.
That's what I'm thinking the same thing.
Anyway, 102 miles an hour on the fingers, like that strikes me as I'm always talking casually about football players, and do you know how weird it is that we watch that game on Sunday and nobody's ever thinking about the guy who gets his fingers caught between two helmets trying to make a tackle, because that broken fingers are nothing for those people. You pop them back in and you get back out there. But in baseball, 102 miles an hour hitting you on the hand, I would think that would leave the kind of pain that you feel later in life because you did something very bad to your hand one time, and the trauma of that was such that I would think that would be pain that you feel in some ways the rest of your life. Just do I have that wrong? Because I'm afraid. I always thought before that the worst of the pains would be like you foul the ball into your ankle, but I think that's the one in baseball I fear the most.
I just have a hard time believing that the pitcher is going to throw to first if you don't have like a real lead.
Yeah. Yeah, that his story broke apart there a little bit. Yeah.
The craziest part about this Stowers thing also is that it's his first at bat of the season. He was injured all season, comes back, first at bat, takes 102 to the hand.
Yeah.
Are they playing with your name right now, Dan?
They are a little bit.
I think they are.
Why would I be making up the story of David Salisbury?
You said you had a very small lead, which to me implies you're a foot off the bag, and then in the next breath you're saying you dove back.
Small lead, you probably don't have to dive back. You could just, step back.
It would look really awkward, I'd say, diving back from really close to the bag.
Yeah, did you overshoot the bag?
Called out of the baseline.
His
he slid all the way into the dugout.
His
That guy.
hands like near the first base coach.
Right,
and his
right.
feet's like on the bag.
Maybe that's why you got hit.
Right. You got injured sliding into the home dugout.
Trying to keep my foot on the bag as I reach for the first base.
Whoa.
You know what? That is what derailed my athletic career. Just no spatial awareness. Like, did you just snort?
I did, yeah. I'm a snorter.
That is a winning segment when I learn about my friend, an Uncle Buddy I did not know that existed, and a sound his body could not make.
Dozens of cats.
Dozens.
Okay, so we got a bear here stumbling around. You see that mirror to the left? He's like, oh, this is weird. There's a lot of weird stuff here. Oh, my God. I just saw myself. Ah! He's like, ah, get out of here. So that's how I imagine a bear would react if they saw Jeremy in the woods.
But that's what they would do to me.
It's really screwed up to do that to a bear, honestly. He's just like not expecting, just like having a nice stroll.
Right.
And just, we'll watch it one more time. This is good fun. Good, clean
great.
fun
I
right
love
here.
that. It really
He's
is.
just like, oh my God.
And then he's going,
He was
what
definitely
a good-looking bear.
Definitely scarred from that for a few months.
Who puts a mirror in the woods?
It's weird.
That's my question.
How did it get there?
It was
Right.
probably for the internet video. They probably did that on purpose.
Yeah, but you're messing with bears. I mean,
It's not right.
leave the bear alone.
Who would do something for the internet visually like that with
Yeah,
a bear?
imagine that.
What are the chances there was a camera right in front of it, too? Jeez. Small world.
Greg, it was interesting. A bunch of people agreed that you had a weekend where the Eagles lost, the Niners lost, so no more undefeated teams. 72 Dolphins could celebrate. But a lot of people saying the Dolphins were the best team in the NFL through 6 weeks. And so I know you're impressed with the offense. Hawk was in here yesterday, Andrew Hawkins, Tomahawk Podcast. He said that Tyreek Hill is the best player, non-quarterback division, in the NFL. And I agree with him. The Dolphins are overwhelming. I'm not certain they're not the best team in the NFL right now, Greg.
I think they are at this minute. They're an underdog in Philadelphia, but only by 2.5 points, which is very interesting. Definitely they have the best offense. I think it's the best offense in Dolphins history. And when I write that, I get a lot of criticism. Too soon. What about this? What about that? Look, the Dolphins won Super Bowls with Larry Zonka because they ran the ball better than anybody and barely passed. They were as exciting as ever and broke NFL records with Dan Marino because they passed the ball like nobody else, but they didn't have a great running game.
Right.
Now they're doing both. They can run the ball like crazy. They lead the league in rushing. Raheem Mostert has 11 touchdowns in 6 games. And Tua is everything they thought he would be when they drafted him number 5 ahead of Herbert. Tua is the favorite in the MVP odds right now.
Should be.
With great reason.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
We are looking forward to tomorrow night. We are going to be doing, one of those things again where we do 3 shows in 24 hours, including a nighttime, late night festivity. Greg Cody is already complaining, Chris. You'll be happy to know. He's like, you guys, I've got to work. This is a big night for me at work, and I've got mock drafts and exactos. But Greg Cody will be here, the legendary Miami Herald columnist, as part of our Thursday night extravaganza.
He's like, I'll agree to come in and be a part of it, but don't bother me. It's like, what is that?
Right. Don't bother me, as he now, as we speak, gets and solicits about 7 soldiers for his army. He's always said he wants a staff. He wants an actual staff, like a king carries around, and he wants a staff. It's why he wanted to be president of the United States. How many people does it take to make him a cup of coffee? Because he sure as hell can't do it himself. What's he doing? Is he just staring at ingredients?
I just kept hearing him say, I'm a K-cup man. And apparently we don't have that here. It's like a normal coffee setup here. So he kept just saying out loud, I'm a K-cup man.
No, we have a beautiful Nespresso is what we have here.
He was saying how he doesn't know how to make coffee. Like, he didn't even know the name of he's like, what's the contraption they put, like a filter? He doesn't even know the name.
So he's demanding a specific. Let's do some play-by-play here. This would be a good place for the telestrator because we don't use the telestrator correctly. This is Greg Cody. This is Greg Cody not doing the show, late for the segment, not able to help us do work here.
5 people are there trying to help him
because all of the people are around the coffee machine making him a single cup of coffee. That's what's happening right now.
Danny's just getting up.
Danny's getting up.
Danny.
Danny. Oh no. Okay.
It's for Cody the empanada.
That's the first time anyone's ever seen Danny give away an empanada. That is the rarest of things right there.
Greg has struck him off twice.
That is okay. Greg,
8 people helping him right now.
Greg,
like Caitlin Clark and Raven Johnson.
Greg, we need you back in here, please, to do the show. This is your
There's
time of
7 people helping him.
It's his time of year. He's got mock draft on a hat. You see that hat there? He's saying it's available at the Greg Cody merch store, and it's not available at the Greg Cody merch store.
That hat just reminds me of Dumb and Dumber. Mock. Yeah.
Yeah.
King.
Yeah.
Mock King. I don't know. Every time I think of Dumb and Dumber.
This is a big time of year, Zaslow. Greg Cody takes a lot of pride in getting more exactos than Mel Kiper. He's got a very good streak of getting it more right than Kiper when it comes to the NFL draft.
So I saw, because I saw today, I guess it came out, where he released his mock draft. And how many does he, like exactos, what would he say is a good year for him?
We'll find out when he rejoins us later in the show after his coffee is properly made. I wanted to talk about the basketball last night. 3 upsets. That's rare. 2 double-digit dogs winning. Rare. The story of the league, of course, is I didn't know they had a concussion protocol in that sport. I was not even aware. I've never heard those words associated with that sport before. Didn't know there was one in the NBA before Wembanyama, the player that it can't happen to, it happens to. And now Portland, a disaster of a franchise right now.
Excuse me.
Because their owner is cheap. The only one in basketball known as cheap. There are no others. Sterling's been run out of the sport. When I say there are no others, there are no others ever in the salary cap age where a team is getting smeared with cheap.
It's got to be so deflating if you're a fan of a team who has a relatively new owner when you learn, oh shit, we got one of those guys. And there's nothing you could do about it. Like, you can't trade. You can trade bad players. You can release bad players. There's nothing you could do about it. We have a shit owner.
The dude has been there legitimately 1 month, maybe less. I went to an event, the Nike Hoop Summit, which is held at the Moda Center, and it was like 3 weeks ago, and it was starting to bubble about this news. And I started making some calls, and I'm like, oh, I think we have a bad one. Like, I think we got a bad,
Such a
one
bad
owner.
realization.
And it starts to give you shivers because you got them. You're like, oh yeah, the Hurricanes have won a bunch like this, and you're not digging into the nitty gritty on how they've lowballed their coach and how he basically took off the radio broadcasters that were legendary, and then took the TV broadcast and then just simulcast it on the radio.
Is that true of the Carolina Hurricanes simulcast?
Let's talk about this for a second because I don't think people realize what's happening in Portland. Okay, and Trista was right in bucking on the idea that Portland is a sorry franchise. It is not. It has been run by one of the great owners and richest owners known to sports. Portland's franchise has been very well run and is the most opulent of the franchises. And now a guy's coming in, and he is cutthroat, and he already did this with the Carolina Hurricanes and has been rewarded for it. Comes in and guts the soul of the franchise and then says all that matters is winning. It doesn't matter. Get out of the hotels. Players, get out of the hotels at 12:30. You get out of your massages. I'm not having support staff get free tickets anymore. I am not allowing all of these people to travel. And what ends up getting eaten there is somebody from business not understanding the soul of sports. What attacks? It's how what happened to Luka in Dallas. It's how that happens. Somebody who doesn't understand what the relationship is and says, no, it's just business. Get out of the hotel at 12:30 when we're on the road. Players, I don't care. You're players. You work for me. Everybody get out. We need to save money. We can't have late checkouts.
So then why buy the team for $4.6 billion or whatever it was?
To make it more.
Yeah, you know the answer to that.
I get that. Okay, but you're gonna save how much against the conference room that you're gonna put everybody in to not have the hotel, to not travel the two-way guys, to all these different things that he's doing to save how much? Like, what's the bottom line?
They said it's $1 million a year to not send the two-way players to these games for an entire year and the hotel stuff. But, like, in the grand scheme of things, that's a drop in the bucket.
You say that, but I disagree. Not if you're keeping count in dollars and not if you don't care about the soul of sports, okay? What's happening in Portland right now is crazy. Scoop Henderson has the game of his life. They win a playoff game.
Scoot.
I thought I said Scoot. Did I not say
Scoop?
Scoot?
Say Scoop, $2.
Okay. I got fines from yesterday, too. I got fines yesterday. How many fines did I rack up yesterday?
There were 3 or 4 fines, I believe. Did you pay him?
Well, what was the Boricua fine?
That one was terrible.
That was
that's
$10.
$50 at
At
least.
10.
No, wait a minute. You guys can't do this to me. It's the $5 the maximum fine. What are the fines?
50 if you kill someone.
What are the fines from yesterday? That's right. 50 if we kill someone.
You almost killed me.
You killed Boricuas.
So I've got $5 for Boricua. I called Alexander Walker Nikhil. I called him Walker Alexander.
You gotta
Well,
remember,
you just
nah.
did it again.
Put 2 more in there.
I didn't do it again.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you owe 4 5s.
You called him Alexander Walker Nikhil.
Hey, give me 4 5.
Alexander Walker Nikhil? That's what?
Nikhil Alexander
There you go.
Walker.
My dad's trying to tip that valet after.
Yeah, do you mind? Give me 4 5s.
You got any
for that if
singles
you
in
got 'em.
there? You can one of the 5s make
All
them
right,
singles.
so the fine bucket is sponsored.
Oh, it's sponsored by Moneyline, Dan. Download the Moneyline app or visit moneyline.com to learn more. Moneyline, make money easy.
What is the fine for? I had Derek Fisher playing for both the
That was a
Lakers
bad
and
one.
the
That was a
Spurs.
bad one.
$250.
It's a bad one.
I think we call it a Twinkie, call it a day.
A 20?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. That doesn't.
that.
All of that doesn't
That's
add
my
up to
20.
$20.
That's my 20.
Call it a day. Call it a day.
All right, $20
No,
it is.
I put that 20 there. You're supposed to give me 4 5s.
That kind of thing.
Quadruple fin.
I'm
Give
sorry.
it up.
I'm sorry to do that to you, Greg. $20 it is. Deal. We're done. Last night, 3 games, all of them upsets. 2 of them on the road. 2 of them with double-digit dogs. Okay, that Philadelphia game. On the nights that Boston is missing their threes, they are unbearable to watch. Like, it's just impossible to watch. You're going to keep trying to get back in this game from 30 feet out with every shot you're shooting.
That's how they lost last year to the Knicks.
It's super interesting to watch that as the only Achilles heel that a team has, that they can shoot the lights out in 4 of 7 games. Like, they really have distorted how it is we're playing the sport, where I just need 4 of the games for you guys to make your threes. Just don't make it 3 of the games. Make it 4 of the 7 games, and then they put up that stinker. Like, that was just terrible last night, where they lose as a 15-point favorite at home and get buried the whole game because Maxey at the end, when you're up 2, Maxey buries your stars with the threes.
And I think they went up 16-0 to start the game. Celtics did. So it wasn't even like they had it, and then they just melted immediately.
I think we're missing the biggest point of last night, which was VJ Edgecombe. Welcome to the
Yes,
NBA,
sir.
my brother.
Yo,
because
Bimini, stand up.
Bimini, stand up. You know about Bimini?
Love Bimini.
So I almost got a house in Bimini.
I think Dexter killed somebody on Bimini.
You should get a house in Bimini.
We should go 50-50.
No, I didn't say that, but you should get a house.
You think I should so then I can lend it to you when I'm not there?
And you let me stay there.
Great fishing in Bimini.
This is why it was a great basketball night, because I don't know what the best story was, okay? So here's what you've got in the 3 games. It's not just upsets, and it's not just the series being upside down. In the late game, the Rockets have taken 44 more shots than the Lakers in that series, and they've made fewer field goals. That team can't shoot. Kevin Durant's there to shoot. 9 turnovers last night. and LeBron buries him, and LeBron's the leading scorer in the game. He's the oldest player in the league. It's just insane. It's an insanity. It's like
Thought he couldn't impress you anymore.
Well, yeah, it's just he's the oldest player in the league, and I'm saying if he does this, if he wins this series, it's the most impressive thing he's done in his career. And I know people think that's some sort of rhetorical trick. He came back from 3-1 in the finals because Draymond Green kicked people in the junk. But LeBron James is the oldest player in the league, being a leading scorer in a basketball game that doesn't have its 2 leading scorers and beats that defensive team that way, playing efficient basketball. Like what it is it's such smart basketball. Listen to what I'm saying to you on the stats. Through 2 games, the Rockets have taken 44 more shots than the Lakers. They've made fewer field goals. It's because LeBron is surgically doing something while KD has 9 turnovers.
Not only that, they're out rebounding them on the offensive glass by like a very large margin. Dan, I got a stat of the day for you if you'd like one.
Hey.
Start of the day. Yo. This is start of the day.
Put 'em up.
Start of the day. Start of the day.
Roy.
This is start of the day.
Roy.
Start of the day.
Zach.
Start of the day.
Zach.
This is start of the day.
What?
Start of the day.
Chris.
Start of the day.
Go, Chris.
This is start of the day.
Chris. Go.
According to StatMuse, most 25.5 rebound, 5 assist playoff games. Michael Jordan, 73. LeBron James before turning 30, 75. LeBron after turning 30, 80.
I don't know what the story would have to be bigger than Wembanyama gets hurt, right? Because in the game before that one, you have Portland win on the road, and Portland was down, what was it? Were they down 9 with 4 minutes left?
It was double figures. I think they finished a 27-10 run.
But I'm saying with 4 minutes left in the game, they were down 7 or 9, and they end up pulling off an upset. And I want to get back to the cheap owner because there are very few times in my history doing this where I can look inside of the salary-capped sports where there are floors and ceilings for salary and have an ownership group identified as cheap. It's basically the Bengals. And that's the list. Like, yeah, in baseball you get that, but it's because the salaries aren't equal. It's not competitive payrolls. I don't know. Is there a hockey team that has the reputation as a franchise? If this is a cheap franchise.
Yeah, his.
And his is the only one.
But they're a well-run organization.
Well, they are now. And so I want to talk to you guys about the cutthroat idea of I'll steal your soul, but if the young players are good, if the young players for Dame that they got can knock off the young players for the Spurs when they don't have Wemby, but they've got plenty of talent at their home, they need the series, and they cough the whole thing up late. Thiago Splitter is being embarrassed in front of us, okay? Everybody in the league is talking about the idea of it being some sort of graceless that you would interview other candidates and stuff while your team's on a run. Like, this is when you galvanize a community. This is where your young fans get excited about something, and Thiago Splitter is leading an improbable run, and he's worried about whether or not the masseuse is allowed to work in the ballroom because they are cutting expenses in Portland, one of the richest owners that has ever existed in sports.
This is by far one of the more impressive coaching performances that I've seen. And I don't think it's being talked about enough. Yes, Joe Mazzulla in a gap year has been incredible. Yes, what we've seen with Detroit as well. But, like, there were G League players like Caleb Love, like Sidi Sissoko, guys that most fans do not know were getting. Chris freaking Murray, the bad Murray twin, was getting significant minutes. Drew Holiday missed a ton of time. Henderson played, I think, only after the All-Star break. I mean, the guard play was pretty much non-existent. Danny Abdia became a guard because they had no guards, and this team still got into the playoffs. And instead of us rejoicing and coming around Thiago Splitter after what he had to do, we're interviewing other people. We're talking about T-shirts. We're talking about late checkout fees. Like, can you just give us a little bit of time to be excited about our team?
To be honest, it's actually better for Thiago Splitter because of all this stuff happening. There's the NBA teams across the landscape looking at, oh, wait a second, like he did an incredible job, and he's not going to sign for $1.5 million to be the coach of the Portland Trailblazers.
That's what it's being reported that
they're offering for a head coach in the NBA in the year of our Lord 2026. We're going to have $1.5 million contracts for these coaches, and I'm sure that there's a lot of coaches that are going to be fired after the season, and somebody's going to look at Thiago Splitter and give him a bag.
How'd they let this guy, in the league?
Money,
right?
He's
and
a
where's the loyalty?
He's a billionaire. But hold on a second. Let me just get back to what I was saying about Portland when they were owned by Paul Allen. Okay, when I talk about opulence, okay, the players would have their cars washed and detailed in the parking lot. They would go have lunch on his yacht.
He was the wealthiest owner, right?
Yeah, but he behaved that way. He had a plane with a wet bar for the team and like a master bedroom. Like he was treating the team extraordinarily well. This is what Portland is used to as an ownership group. And so someone is coming in and doing cost cutting in ways that are empirically, mathematically sound for business, but soulless. Like soulless in the place that sports end up being something that matters. Those players would helicopter from his yacht to where they had lunch to his private plane because he was treating the players as if they were partners, and he was doing so with great wealth. This guy is treating his players like, get out of the hotel at 12:30 on the road. I don't want the late charges.
Dan, have we talked to David Sampson and a million different people about ownership in sports? And like, it's a losing proposition. Like, if you're in it to make money in the year in and year out basis, you're not going to do it.
Unless you do stuff like this.
Right. Really? Really? You think that's the case?
Yeah, like I imagine Bruce Sherman makes money with the Marlins.
I think the most damning part of all of this is, yes, the T-shirts is embarrassing, bro. Get a fan some damn T-shirts. You ain't been to the playoffs in a minute. All that's embarrassing, but at the same time, for you to display this just show of unloyalty to Thiago Splitter when he stepped up for you, when your organization could have been embarrassed all year. You could have been the laughingstock of the league. My boy stepped up and said, you know what, I got you. Told them rookies, motivated everybody in that locker room to get to the playoffs. And this is the reward you give, my boy, for saving your face? It's bad.
I don't know how that's sustainable. When you say it's good for business, how is it good for business when you're never going to get a free agent? You're never going to compete for the free agent you want because you're too cheap. If I'm a star coming out of college, I make it be known I don't want to be drafted by that
That's
team.
a good young core that just won a playoff game at San Antonio the minute that Wemby's head got bumped, and now we're all looking at that series because if I don't know what the concussion protocol is in basketball. I assume he will be. What is it?
He cannot return until at least 72 hours. 72 hours would actually take it. Like the earliest he can come back will be Game 3 because 72 hours is Friday, but he can't do anything basketball related for 48 hours, and you got to pass all kinds of tests. So at the earliest, if he passes all the tests, he's back Friday.
Juju and Trista, you guys are basketball alley-oop experts. Were you aware there was an NBA concussion protocol before this?
I learned of it last night. I ain't gonna lie.
I knew there was one, and I didn't know the details of it.
And so I don't know, because we don't know the details of head injuries, because there hasn't been a body like this in the history of bodies. I have no earthly idea how to diagnose whether Wemby will be himself by Game 7 of this series. But Portland stole a game on the road, and they have the momentum of not just all that, we're excited about our young players and hope and everything else and our future. They're also rallying around the idea of this lovable coach, disrespected by even his owner, bailing us out when the previous coach gets knocked out in a unprecedented mafia-associated allegations around crime family card game fixing. That story just took out face of the league. That story just took out, this guy's the future. He's going to dominate 5 years of the sport. And today, the only thing anyone's talking about is not the winner of that game. It's the injury in that game. So that series is about the other team and entirely about the other team. And that's exactly where cities rally around their team. But now they've got the owner from Major League. The owner appears to be against what it is that they're doing there in the name of business. And you love that city, you love that team, you have an emotional relationship with it. You tell me, Tristan, not the fear of do I have a bad one, but am I now long-term relationship with a guy who doesn't care about sports the way I do?
Yeah, and I think the thing that I want to take him in and tell him if I ever get near him, which I'm not sure if he will ever be around the media and speak on a regular basis, is like these things in the NBA have a trickle-down effect. You not bringing G League guys to get playoff experience and be there for film and be there for team dinners and be on the road, that messes up the pipeline because that's eventually what you want to do is turn a Caleb Love into a rotation player. And that's how you, in the CBA, save on money. It feels to me a little bit like the healthcare system here where we don't want to pay for massages or acupuncture or whatever, or gym memberships, but we'll pay when you need insulin shots. And to me, it's like, well, you're kind of like throwing away dollars to pick up pennies.
But if there are no other places that you can get competitive advantages because there's a salary cap sports, the costs are sort of fixed in the draft, right? Cody's not wrong. You're going to have a hard time getting free agents allegedly, although I don't know if that's the case of the Carolina Hurricanes now because his answer at every turn is winning solves all of that. Don't bother me. I'm going to cut inefficiencies in our business and winning will fix all of it. Nothing else matters.
The difference is the NHL, they don't talk about the league and gossip about the league like you do in the NBA. Like you talk to 100 people, 50 of them will go probably 100 of them are going to tell 50 more. This is something that you can't keep a secret like you can in the NHL.
Also, I just think the culture is so different where literally in the NHL, the winning is what matters. The winning fixes everything. Like they only care about their teammates and winning hockey games. When in the NBA, I think it's more all-encompassing. Like, the lifestyle plays a major role for these players.
When you talk about free agency, like, it's almost better to not sign these massive free agent deals if you're trying to cut costs at every single thing, because the heaviest cost of your entire franchise is what you have out on the court. When Denny Avia comes up, is he going to be a Supermax eligible player? Are they going to give him $250 million in a couple of years?
Right, and that's not being talked about enough either. Last night, Denny had a slow night. He had a rough night, and Tumani Kamara stepped up. 2 big free throws. My boy Scoot stepped up. So I feel like that whole roster, bro, it deserves to be watered, at least.
Look, I think Wembanyama is going to return rather soon. It's the playoffs. They have championship aspirations. But if he doesn't, they're probably in trouble. Like, they're probably in a lot of trouble. Because it's now Portland's a young team too with very little experience outside of Drew Holiday, but San Antonio is a really young team with very little experience.
Well, but this is why when Amin comes on here and says the value of playoff experience, God Almighty, just the little bit Orlando had, what they did to Charlotte was like embarrassing. With the little bit that Orlando had,
heck, even Detroit.
It is a different sport in the playoffs, even if you want to take all of the threes. And I'd be bothered if I were a Celtics fan with all the jogging around Tatum was doing yesterday, because how they play basketball is frustrating. Like it looks beautiful when they're beating Orlando because their subs are making all the threes, but when those shots are not going down for the Celtics and all they're doing is running around out there 30 feet from the basket shooting, because Tatum and Brown will always be able to get those shots from out there. You can't guard them from out there.
You remember the big story after those first 2 games with Boston and New York last year when New York went up 2-0. The Celtics were something like 15 for 100 from 3 in those first 2 games. It's disgusting basketball.
And up 20 in both of the games.
So what's happening here, though, when we do this, Cody, with the math on just the randomness of we're going to make it 63s a night, and on some nights we're going to make 10, and on the ones that we make 30, we're going to score 140. But that's not the playoffs. All those games last night are low scoring. Yep. Like it is a different sport in the playoffs. Not quite like hockey, not because nothing's quite like hockey. But this is a different sport in the playoffs. Look how Charlotte's learned that. I was trying to say this the other day, and I didn't say it well. Charlotte, one of the great offenses in the sport, they were beating people by 18 points a game over the last part of the season, making those threes from wherever it is that LaMelo Ball wants to take them. They were having trouble getting the ball over half court against the Orlando defense. Like it was weird to watch a team that I knew was great at offense just get buzzsawed.
It was a little bit like the Panthers, right? Where after the 22 season, they won the President's Cup, the President's Trophy. They're the highest scoring team. And it's like, yeah, that shit doesn't work in the playoffs. And then they had to completely change their roster, and they hired a new coach and changed their style of play, and they won.
Yeah, but Boston has had the season it's had because of threes. So I think the worst thing you do is, it's the playoffs now. We got to change our whole game. I think what you do is you count on the norm happening, which is we're going to make enough threes to win.
No, but they're not going to
and they
change
will.
their game. What I'm complaining about is the idea that their whole philosophy is built on we will make more threes than you in 4 of the 7 games.
Right. But isn't that most of the NBA now, right?
Yeah, they're better at it than
Yeah,
most.
and
But they're
that's how
also
Golden State was a
but they're
dynasty.
also distorting it more. I haven't looked it up, but I'm going to go ahead and say that in the history of gambling, there haven't been a whole lot of double-digit dogs that have won that way by that much in game 2 on the road against a team that's clearly better than you and a defending champion. Like to be a 14.5-point dog in that game and to win it, a bit running away at the end because they made their threes and Boston didn't at the end. That style of basketball, it bothers you, does it not? You love it in Boston, but nowhere else, correct?
Hate it. Hate watching it.
Right, it's disgusting. Even going back to the Houston series, that matchup last night, I got a shocking revelation right now. 76 combined points between LeBron James, Luke Kennard, and my boy Marcus Smart last night. This is the playoff experience that I feel like Houston is lacking. Like, this is showing up in those type of areas, and I think we also, to kind of put a little sauce in it, I think we found the most ass All-Star in the history of All-Stars, Alperen Sengun.
Whoa.
I think my boy is ass. My boy missed 10 layups last night. 10 of them.
There's been something rotten the second half of the season about this Houston team. I know they got a little bit hot toward the end of the season, but there was a stretch there where you got Kevin Durant talking about maybe I should just go stand in the corner, complaining about the offense. And then, of course, last night he returns to 9 turnovers. 9 turnovers, only 7 made baskets. That also has a lot to do with the Lakers. The Lakers, the way they defend Kevin Durant, because this has been a problem all season when Durant plays the Lakers. In the last 3 games against the Lakers, he has 20 personal turnovers.
Look, but this is normal aging. Do not let LeBron James distort it for you just because he's an alleged peer of Kevin Durant. No, Kevin Durant is one of the greatest scorers ever, and LeBron James is better than him forevermore. LeBron James is much older than Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was brought in to be both the experience and the shooting for a team that was a 2 seed last year. A team that overachieved last year and then will underachieve because the hardest thing to coach in sports is an aging superstar. He's lost his last 7 playoff games. That's how it happens. Kevin Durant will be able to get 25 points in a game until he's 80 years old, but he's going to lose playoff games because that is how a player ages. He's an old man. You guys have gotten so used to the science of and LeBron James that you don't understand that what's been brought in to lead the Rockets is the worst version of Kevin Durant that there has been, even though he can still make jump shots for a lifetime. He's going to have 9 turnovers in a playoff game when it becomes a different game.
Yeah, I mean, this Houston team's not good, though. I think in general, the stats have always said all season long one thing. At one point, they were the best 3-point shooting team in the league and just shot the least amount per game. And it was never a real thing for me. It always felt fugazi. And to be honest, I like this Lakers roster more than I like the Houston roster.
But they were a 2 seed. They were a good team. This was supposed to be a young, up-and-coming team, and Kevin Durant's a final piece.
They were a different team last year, right? They built such a big team, looking around and saying, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to play bully ball. We're going to out-rebound you. We're going to get shots at the rim. Also, they don't have a point guard. That's a big deal. Fred VanVleet getting hurt in the beginning of the season completely nuked what their offense was supposed to be. Reed Shepherd steps into a spot where Ime Udoka doesn't even like Reed Shepherd, but he has to give him the keys to the offense and be like, you got to do something here because we don't have anybody that can shoot.
They won the same amount of games this year with Kevin Durant as they won last year without Kevin Durant. The Phoenix Suns with Durant last year won 36 games. This year without him, they won 45. We all know that Phoenix was a disaster. This Houston situation is not good. Brooklyn, for the most part, was a disaster. Why did he leave the Warriors?
Okay, well, let me talk about this part for a second because you'd think, Draymond, you'd think that winning was so much fun that people would never get tired of winning, and then the wheels come off on all of these things after about 4 years because the pressure is up here. Going to work every day is less fun than you think it is. It's just It's really pressurized, and these guys don't enjoy it because everyone's coming after them, and the competitive business is like cutthroat. Everyone wants your money. Chris Whittingham had it right when he said, if you replayed the simulation of Kevin Durant's career in whatever 3 million choices you wanted to make for possibly a top 10 scorer of all time, top 10, possibly a top 10 player of all time, you can make the argument if you want to. 2020 missed the playoffs. 2021 second round exit. 2022 first round sweep. 2023 second round exit. 2024 first round sweep. 2025 missed playoffs. 2026 down 0-2 on the road. That's how a player ages. That's how a superstar ages. Where it looks the same. He's in the same uniform. The number and the name are the same on the back. The numbers are the same. He can go get them anywhere in the world. But here, look at all this losing. That is a lot of losing for an all-time great. It's why he will forever pale in the shadow of LeBron.
How much can we attribute to also he's coming off of an injury? Like, he was injured the day before and still putting up them type of numbers. It's up to his team to be a team. Like, I saw Aaron Holiday getting clutch minutes in God's 2026 we in. Like, I think it's more of a team issue than KD right now.
Oh, but Juju, you're exactly right, though. Yes, of course he's coming back from injury, and those are more unforgiving and more likely to happen when you've got as many miles on those limbs and everything as that guy does. I don't even mean this to desecrate Kevin Durant. Imagine, please pay respect to all of the dinosaur in him that at that height will forever make basketball look beautiful. But that team he was supposed to be the final piece for. And I'm sitting here watching, and injured or not, the Lakers don't have two of their best players. Like, your favorites in both of these games, nobody expects. Do you know how infrequently LeBron enters the playoffs with no expectations? This playoff series started with nobody expecting the Lakers to win, because how could they?
Right, and no pressure, therefore. But Marcus Smart, we haven't mentioned him.
Tony did, because that is playoff experience. Marcus Smart has played in 1,000 of these games.
Yeah, and his defense has been what's caused a lot of KD's turnovers.
But it wasn't defense last night. I didn't think Marcus Smart had that game in him anymore. Did anybody?
You better win the Marcus Smart game, and they did.
But did anyone think that Marcus Smart had the game on both ends of the court where he would be LeBron's wingman? I mean, Kennard?
Who played for his AAU team, by the way. He played for LeBron's AAU team. Yeah.
Ever since Stan Van Gundy said that Luke Kennard was the best shooter he'd ever seen, it was like kind of a foolish thing.
Yeah, Stan's on a heater.
And then it's like, oh, damn, Luke Kennard, my bad. I doubted your game, brother.
Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Luke Kennard, I was not familiar with your game, yes or no. Let's
brother
play.
At the end.
Brother, thank you. Catchphrases, please. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
The Greg Cody
Yeah,
Show featuring Greg Cody. You can get all of your updates there. I don't know if Trista has been introduced to your catchphrases. Trista,
you know about them catchphrases?
Do you have any familiarity with these?
I'm very intrigued. I mean, I've caught them in the wild, but never in a list.
Okay, so if you have, I usually we write something down here so that if you have questions, I want to go, if you have any historical context you want, because we can't have interruption of this. We got to get out. We got to get out of the man's way and let him cook.
Are we ready?
Number 50.
I'm Fuller than Vern Fuller.
49.
Where's my click?
48.
Hey, Butterfinger.
47.
Punt.
46.
Scranton.
45.
I'm busy in a one-arm paper hanger.
44.
Georgia.
43.
I'm the kind of guy that
42.
ball on the jack.
41.
Hey, with the monkeys, baby.
40.
Thank you, Billy.
39.
I love him like a pet.
38.
Who made it a salad?
37.
We're rolling now, huh?
36.
Your brain beating me.
35.
Let's go States.
34.
Driver comfort is paramount.
33.
Dummy up. Save up.
32.
Catch as catch can.
31.
Doesn't make it right.
30.
So on and so forth.
29.
Very good.
28.
The Little League theory.
It's maddening. It doesn't belong in there. 27.
Nice hat, asshole.
26.
The others, they all learn from me.
25.
Don't go showering to try to please me.
24.
Look at that jerk.
23.
It's like a packing house in here. There should be hams hanging from hooks.
22.
What'd you learn?
21.
Hee-haw, 3. Ba-dap.
So now we are at the historic top 20 on a daily, weekly joke that, monthly joke that Cody has kept in the air for a long time now. The top 20 are the most important of the catchphrases, and we are revealing 20 and 19 on the Greg Cody Show featuring Greg Cody.
Yeah, that's correct.
And so that's not correct. And if you're correcting me, then it's not correct. Is it featuring Greg Cody or is it with Greg
It's
Cody?
with. Yeah, it's with. Yeah, never been featuring. With, more concise, one syllable. Bam.
Well, the Greg Cody Show is also more concise, but you didn't go that route.
With.
Well, you know, you got to do what you got to do, right?
It didn't need the with or the featuring.
Yeah, I think it did.
It's the Greg Cody
Yeah,
Show.
but who's hosting it?
Thank you.
It's the Greg Cody Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, who?
Right, with Greg
But
Cody.
who would it be with? Hal Habib? Like, it's the Greg
it
Cody
could be
Show.
with Chris Cody. I mean, it could be with Yeti Blanc. I mean,
With how habit.
Number 20.
Number 20. I'm not going to take a quiz.
A show staple.
Only 20, huh?
Number 19.
Sassafras.
Trista, any questions?
Fuller? 50?
Fuller than Vern Fuller.
Yeah, I'm fuller than Vern Fuller. It's something I've been saying my whole life. Vern Fuller was a second baseman for the
Trista, what did you
Cleveland
just
Indians
say?
in
What
the
did
60s.
what did you just say, Trista? What came out of your mouth?
I don't remember.
How could you do that? How could it is what it is? Get your best work, that freestyle, and that's how you just asked that question.
I didn't know really what he said. And so I wrote down vervemful fur. On this episode of the Alley Oop, we go into every game one of the first round of the playoffs, and as a Portland Trailblazer fan, I'm already fed up with Wemby's ass. I think I hate him.
And I think I hate Kelly Olynyk now. Lock him up and throw him in jail. The key, wherever you want to put the key, keep it there. Don't let him out. As well as Scott Foster has the audacity to tell somebody to do their damn job.
Lock in.
Some Shakespeare is
All right.
done by the Dan Levitard Show with Stugotz. We've stolen the exclamation point officially from Get Up. It's put after the word show.
So this is Act 1, Scene 2 of Macbeth. The stage instructions are: a camp near Fours. Alarum within, enter Duncan, Malcolm, Donalbain, Lennox with attendants, meeting a bleeding sergeant.
I don't even know what that means.
Jessica, you will play the role.
All right, so wait, can we set the scene? Thank you, Mike. Can we set the scene, Mike, from high school? Can you give Chris Cody his motivation on, because he didn't even understand what Whittingham.
Am I happy?
Like what?
Am I like, distressed? Okay.
In what
You're
condition does the distressed? Okay, very good. Good confidence there. Let's have the music that
yep.
we need, Shakespearean music, and let's see if we can find our note here.
What bloody man is that? He can report, as seemeth by his plight of the revolt, the new estate.
This is the sergeant, who like a good and hardy soldier fought gainst my captivity. Hail, brave friend! Say to the king the knowledge of the broil, as thou didst leave it.
So true.
Doubtful it stood as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their art. The merciless MacDonald, worthy to be a rebel, for to that. The multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him from the western isles. Of kerns and Gallowes glasses is supplied, and fortune of his damned quarrel smiling. Showed like a rebel's whore, showed like a rebel's whore, but all's too weak for brave Macbeth. Well, he deserves that name. Disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smoked a blood with bloody execution.
What? Yes.
Like Valuor's minion. The NFL draft, where hope begins and overreactions start immediately. Join us live, Draft Watch, presented by Bucked Up. Tomorrow night, 7:45 Eastern on YouTube at Batard Show. I lost my breath.
Okay, very
There's
good.
a little breath issue.
Inhale.
I'm sure the new sponsor is very proud of how you read that. It's tomorrow night. We're doing as part of our draft coverage. We're about to bring in Dr. Fred Johnson. He's the doctor of leadership in a second. And Greg Cody was saying Fred Johnson seems like a name from another time. I don't know how you become a doctor of leadership, but he became a doctor of leadership. And you, Fred Johnson, seemed like a name to you, you were saying, that isn't common.
Well, I love names like that because I grew up with a name that I always had to, it was always mispronounced. I had to always spell it. So I love names like Fred Johnson, Bob Edwards, Al Miller. Just names that are right out there. You know exactly what they are. You don't have to. How many times in his life has Fred Johnson been asked to spell his name?
No follow-up questions. That's right. You've got that's it. He gets to say Fred Johnson. Everyone understands.
So you love names like Steve Smith?
Yeah, there you go.
Just real easy. You're never going to get tripped up. You don't have any follow-up questions.
Well, the other thing I wanted to say about Dr. Johnson is that you got to have a lot of talent, which you do, obviously, to live up to the name leadership coach. Okay, and here's why. If you call yourself an influencer, you better influence people, right? If you call yourself a motivational speaker, my hesitation is I'm going to say, you can't motivate me. I'm going to challenge that. So when you're a leadership coach, man, you better lead, and congratulations to you. What's up, Doc?
Okay. He just went off the rails, and
What's up, Doc?
he has done work with the Packers, with Jacksonville. The reason we're having him on with Seattle, the reason we're having him on is because he's also worked with the Dolphins, and the Dolphins are in need of leadership. He's the founder of Initiative One, and I'll get to him in a second. But Trista, do you have any follow-up questions for Greg Cody on his list of catchphrases?
What was the screech with Ver Good? Screech.
Oh,
Screech.
no, it's not very good. It's very good.
Very good.
We say it like a parrot. We say it like a parrot that may be off in the distance. You're hearing a talking parrot off in the distance saying, very good. And we're trying to get that started so that fans use it at stadiums and arenas.
We use it at the fronton.
Yeah.
When the Cyclones get a big point.
Very good. We do, and I'd like to hear that during PGA Tour events. A guy sinks a putt. The gallery in unison goes, very good.
Why?
So we're trying to...
What's the sequitur to the parrot?
Uncle Dick.
Yeah, Uncle Dick will say that, but
Uncle Dick of Dick's Rough Riders.
Yeah, but I invented that. It's just a parrot off in the distance. What can I say?
Okay, we'll get back to this in a second.
Yeah.
I want all your follow-up questions, but Fred Johnson is a leadership coach, and he's been waiting very patiently here, and you got very self-involved with that explanation. You really enjoyed it. Trista, it's a parrot that says very good out of the side of its mouth.
Right.
That's it.
As if in the distance.
Very good.
You want people in the room to be confused on who said
Yeah.
it.
Poor
is the goal.
Dr. Fred Johnson right now is shaking his head.
General managers are finalizing their draft boards right now. Fred, so help us. When you are the founder of Initiative One and a franchise, self-serious, sacred franchise that's $1 billion business comes your way and is soliciting your leadership, why and how are they doing that? Why are they coming to you?
Because they're wanting to figure out if that player that they're about to draft and for a $27 million contract is either going to give lift to their locker room or tear up their locker room. That's bottom line.
And so you're studying personality types. You're teaching them how to measure someone's character?
Well, to be honest with you, most coaches, and it's a problem, most coaches' character and leadership is a nice little add-on. If I encounter a team that has executives with that kind of an attitude, I never have much hope for them in the future. So it's my role, based upon my background and my particular gifts, to be able to walk into a combine room, cut through all the polite, yes, sir, yes, sir. They're all coached up. They're all saying the right, perfect things. It's my job to figure out, is this guy real? Is it authentic? Just going through the motions? Is he full of himself? Does he care about himself? Does he put the team first? All of those are the things that I'm looking for when I walk in, and it's my job to figure that out within 10 minutes.
Doc, so you're basically a professional bullshit smeller. You walk into the building, maybe kick the saloon door open, you look around, you go, this guy's full of shit.
You know, that's exactly what I do, and there's a lot of it in these, not as much in the locker rooms as there is in the coaching suites.
Are you saying that the reason that people come to you is because they're about to make a multi-million-dollar investment, and you're better at sniffing out fraud than others?
Well, all I can tell you, I don't know if I can sniff it out better than others. I'm very confident in my ability to get to what is real and to separate someone who you don't really want in your locker room, as opposed to, that's one of the best decisions we ever made. I'll give you an example. I interviewed Aaron Hernandez back in 2010. He walks in with a swagger, and I'm going, they walked out and they said, man, this guy is fantastic. I said, if you hire this guy, I'm telling you, in the long run, he may be able to fool you for a short time, but in the long run, he will kill your team.
Dead eyes.
Literally and figuratively. Another one was Eric Berry, who was drafted out of Tennessee by the Kansas City Chiefs. He walked in, and I'm telling you, he owned the room within a moment. The guy has charisma walking out of every pore. You could tell he was the real deal. Earl Thomas was another one. And so, you know, I think probably my all-time favorite character guy who combined both high performance and high character, which is what you want, was probably Calais Campbell or Maurice Jones-Drew. Those are the 3 to 4 people that you want on a team. If you can have 3 to 4 people, which I call high trust, high performance guys, and you surround it with solid performers who don't bring in a bunch of drama and are not narcissists that only care about their stats and their glory, you can compete for the Super Bowl. Your culture will determine whether you've got a collection of individuals or you've got a team that's going to come together. I've never seen a great team that had a poor culture. I've never seen it. And I've worked with college basketball. I've worked with professional baseball. I've worked with college football and the NFL.
What about all the times you were wrong? What about all those times you were wrong? You're giving us all the times you got it right.
I have been fooled. And the very best can fool you in the short term. But, you know, I'll tell you that you can get through the front door, but ultimately you can't get to the vault.
Hello.
How do you find teams that you've worked with? How do you find most of them balance how strongly they feel about the player compared to how strongly you're feeling about the player?
Well, with Seattle, I remember one year I gave them 7 recommendations, and they followed all 7 recommendations. But I have deep trust with John Schneider. I mean, I coached.
Forgive me for interrupting you. The only reason I'm interrupting you is that's you nailing it more than anyone in the sport nailed it. You just gave us your credentials the way Dwayne Wade did before the show. Seattle did what I told them, and they won the championship.
Well, they've come to me twice. They came to me right before they won the Super Bowl, and they came to me again after they won the Super Bowl.
Salute. Can you tell? I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot, brother. Can you tell like my character, or is it like you have to be around me more, or can you read me from here?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't want my daughter dating you.
Whoa!
Salute.
Hey,
saluting
you
that?
guys said you can give it out. I told you I can give it back.
Yes, sir.
Do me next.
Hey, yo.
Pause. Big time pause, Dr. Johnson.
Doctor, thank you for being on with us. He's the leadership coach and the founder of Initiative One. We appreciate the time.
Thank you.
What happened?
We're going to go to commercial.
Barbados Carnival.
So welcome back, Billy, and I don't know where this particular tension is going to end up. Welcome back. And I also want to get to Mike Ryan. He does not agree with you on Hard Knocks, Chris. He doesn't.
Oh, trust me. We had a whole text exchange last night. I almost drove to his house to fight him.
Yeah, you guys have very wildly disparate opinions on the Oakland Raiders and Hard Knocks. But first, Billy, welcome back. How was your honeymoon?
It was good. Thank you for asking.
Oh, he's tightened up his game now that he's refreshed. Okay, things are
It's
just
so hot today, Dan. I don't know what's going on with the air, but luckily I have this little fan that I bought before a hurricane that I have plugged into my phone, so like it's keeping me nice and cool.
I'm so jealous.
You guys should get these. These things are awesome. Look at it, Dan. You see this thing? Look at this.
Can you please tell me about all the awkward things that happened to you? Did anything weird happen to you in Barbados? Like what kind of, just give me some awkward Billy on his honeymoon stuff. Is there anything that...
The non-awkward would be a much shorter story.
Yeah, I wonder how this is going to go. What's the best you got from your honeymoon? And then we'll move on to other things like Antonio trying to steal your job.
I've had a lot of awkwardness, well, in my entire life, I guess, but recently I've had a bunch of awkwardness. So I'd say from the honeymoon, I think the most memorable thing that we did was, so in Barbados, they have an annual carnival, right? Or carnival or whatever, right? It's called Crop Over. And it's at the end, well, it's actually called Kadooment, but that's a different story.
All right, go sit outside for a second. We'll get back to it.
Whoa!
Antonio, just go sit in his chair. We'll get back to it.
I'm back, baby.
I want to hear the whole story. I just don't understand why you can't even get the name right of Carnival. And like,
it's Crop Over. That's fine.
Why is it called a honeymoon?
It's a good question.
That is a good question. Put it on the poll, Antonio, now that you've replaced Billy in his chair. Do you know why they call it a honeymoon? Mike, do you have the sound? A very simple sound, a very simple question. Basically, I want you to hear Billy, who has a reputation for yammering and just not being able to get anything out, and he's rusty, because he hasn't been paying attention to the internet for 10 days. So he came in here today, and it was just a furnace blast of news, all of it weird, disorienting. The local hour has gone someplace else.
We showed him Antonio Brown's feet.
Yeah, like he's missed a lot. I am actually scared when I disappear for my honeymoon. I'm going to come back and I feel like things are just going to be gone. There's the possibility like the shipping container room just floated off into the Atlantic Ocean.
We're still not out of hurricane season.
Yeah, I am going to fall it's very easy to fall very, very far behind, very fast when it comes to the amount of stimulation and news and sports stuff that you are getting. Billy was off the grid. He comes back. Everything's changed except his inability.
I did not expect that. Who could have saw Lakers going up 2-0? That's nuts.
I have been doing this long time, and I have simply never had that reaction that I just had, stunned, speechless by something someone had said. And I had Tim Hardaway on our show saying he hated gay people. Like, I've never been stunned into speechlessness by an answer where I'm paid to continue broadcasting. I'm also paid for the judgment of being sort of the managing editor of what we're doing around here. And someone surprised me so much with an offensive answer to a question that I just get stunned into speechlessness, because we're having him on as an expert on being able to judge personalities. And I feel like I've got a little bit of knowledge on how to judge this personality. And he just gave us, he did what Warren Sharp did that time he came on with his expertise and then went 0 for 16 on the games that he was picking. Like, how can that be the answer when we're having you on as an expert to talk about how to judge draft picks? Like, how does that even happen?
Can we one time for Juju's grace in that spot?
Yes.
Yeah, good job. Good job. Better man than me.
I was ready to jump on the motherfucking table.
I've never had that happen to me before, where I don't know what I don't know what to say.
You're also pretty stunned yesterday when I brought up the FIU story. You didn't say anything there for 5 seconds.
Should I put it in the club? I'll think about it. We'll circle back.
And that's a leadership coach who said that, by the way.
I just can't.
That was such bad judgment.
We're having him on because his judgment just made a champion Seahawks team, and he could tell that Aaron Hernandez was a murderer.
Good shout by him.
Dummy up, say up. Am I right?
Yes. Well put.
Krista, what other questions do you have about his catchphrases?
Hams? What about the hams?
Oh, when it's really, in a freezer, when the hams are hanging on hooks, you're walking into an industrial freezer where it's probably about, 45 degrees or something of that nature. And so when it's so cold in here, there ought to be hams hanging on
45
hooks.
degrees.
That's like your fridge. Your fridge is colder than
It's
that.
got to be freezing. It's got to be freezing.
It's lower than freezing.
Can you explain
Yeah,
to her,
probably
Fuller?
20, probably 25.
She still doesn't understand the very first of your catchphrases, number 50. She still doesn't understand.
Yeah, I'm fuller than Vern Fuller. Vern Fuller was a nondescript journeyman second baseman who played mostly for the Cleveland, maybe entirely for the Cleveland Indians, circa mid-'60s. And when I invented that phrase, I thought of the only Fuller I knew, the only person with the surname Fuller, and I invented I'm fuller than Vern Fuller. I'm coming up from the dinner table. I just had seconds. I'm a little bit bloated. Man, I am fuller than Vern Fuller. And it just stuck with me. And Vern Fuller to this day is still with us, age 82. And I mean to get him on my podcast to discuss with him and congratulate him for the honor of being one of my catchphrases.
You're going to bestow it on him as part of your podcast pageantry?
Yes.
You and an 82.
Picturing an 80-year-old coming on, like, all right, I've got on the Zoom. What do you want to tell me? I'm number what on your catchphrases?
I think he'll be honored.
I would
Why
love
wouldn't he be?
I would love to hear the original sound of your father explaining to Vern Fuller why he's having him on a podcast as an 82-year-old guest. I think I would like to listen to what that conversation would sound like.
Didn't have a batting average over 250 his entire career. Vern Fuller did.
Yeah, there you go.
Hee-haw?
Hee-haw 3.
Well, okay, hold on.
But
Before
damn-
you explain it, what do you think that is?
I have
Give it to her again. Give it to her
but,
again.
But wait, she doesn't know. She didn't hear the little sneak at the
Yeah.
end, which he didn't put. I don't think he put it in the original
Yeah, I think
catchphrase when we went through the top 50. I think we got to do it again. He didn't
He always
do that
does.
part
No,
right.
he
Yeah.
always
Start
puts it
over?
in.
Yeah, all right, let's
He
do it.
always puts it in.
Always.
No, he didn't do the
He
bidet
did.
up.
He did.
But you have to take a beat or two. You can't say it immediately. It's hee-haw 3. Pause. Ba-dap.
What do you think
Oh,
that
I
is?
didn't hear that.
What do you think that is?
Is that about a toilet?
No.
It's not about a bidet?
No.
Greg, don't tell her yet. I'd like to explain this, and I'd have also a visual reenactment, if you don't mind.
All right.
I want to tell this story again because it is a real delight. Back in my day, when kids played in the neighborhood with other kids.
For the audio audience, he's getting behind Dan.
And Greg Cody was the umpire for the games of street ball that he, his brother, and the neighborhood kids would play. He was the home plate umpire, okay? And the kids, and I think it can be said now, the kids were embarrassed by him consistently, and it's because his strike three call.
He made it about himself.
His strike three call, okay, if you happen to either swing and miss or take a pitch that you shouldn't have taken, both times he would call this as his signature umpire call that would echo throughout the neighborhood.
Hee-haw 3, ba-damn.
Not much of a pause there.
Not much of a pause. Yeah. He got a little scared under the big lights of having to go back to his umpiring past.
Well, originally it was just hee-haw 3. The ba-day-up came later.
What's the ba-day-up?
Ba-day-up is nothing but a sound.
Just a dismount.
Yeah, it's just a sound. There's no individual meaning to it. It's a ba-day-up.
So you're just making up words.
Does it, or like,
essentially,
does it have anything to do with batter up, like the next batter? Hee-haw 3, batter up.
It
no,
means everything.
but that's a good.
That's what I thought. It's batter up.
No, it's
Yeah, that's what I
ba-day-up.
thought.
We're gonna add that to the etymology, though.
But it's not true.
But it could be. It could be.
It's in the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Please explain what it means to point at your son and say, we're going to add that to the etymology.
Part of the catchphrase countdown is that I explain the origin of all the phrases, how they began, why they began, what they mean. Some of them are popular or even known because of this show or my own podcast. Some of them are private. The only people who've ever heard me say them are Christopher and maybe a couple of friends along the way. So there's an etymology behind all of them, you know, a backstory.
But you're the kind of guy that what?
Yeah. I'm the kind of guy. I'm the kind of guy that will give you that etymology, whether you want it or not. You know, that kind of thing.
That kind of thing, probably a top tenner.
I'm the kind of guy that is an homage to my late great friend Alan Cherry, who passed away, gosh, probably 8 years ago or so.
Your singing inspiration as well made you think you could be a songwriter and a performer, correct?
Not a songwriter, but a performer.
Who made you think you could be a songwriter?
Well, my love of music and my ability to write sort of were a nexus for me.
I would love a freestyle between you and Trista at some future date, but that would require
a collab.
I mean, of course, like that's the way to go. I'm still reeling from Dr. Fred Johnson.
Yeah, me too.
I'm simply not right.
I looked at Juju when he came on. This is behind the scenes, and I go, true story, yeah. I said, this guy seems racist.
Yeah. She called it.
I said, this
kind
guy.
Of the way he did with Aaron Hernandez, she called it with him.
I could be Fred Johnson.
I got scared. I gave really bad secondhand embarrassment.
I did too.
I was very scared.
It was a shocking thing to say.
I'll admit that after Trista said it, I kind of piled on and was like, yeah, he definitely thought Lamar Jackson was a wide receiver.
When we get those crazy things that come out of draft day and they're like, oh, do you know these GMs were asking how many toothpicks will fit inside of a glass box, and do you have any outstanding babies we've never heard of? That's Fred Johnson.
I'm like that James Franco meme. It's just a Wednesday for me. First time, guys.
I just want to put up their faces side by side. You guys were afraid of Fred Johnson. You guys, Fred Johnson walked on into the Dr. Bullshit Smeller.
Kicked open the saloon door.
As Tony called him, Dr. Bullshit Smeller, who comes in and tells everybody, Seattle, all their picks, they did what I told them.
And they won the Super Bowl.
I mean, that kind of thing.
I can't.
I'm the kind of guy that knows that Aaron Hernandez is going to kill people.
Yes, that's what he should have said.
Catch as catch can.
Yeah, right?
That's a shocking answer he had in the holster, ready to go, when Juju asked,
and
can you judge me?
And man, did he think it was funny. He started laughing. He was like, oh.
No, and the even better part, like, his daughter's 34. Like, he's making the decisions on who his daughter dates. Throw that one in there as well.
He wouldn't want it. Let's just be fair. He's not enforcing.
It's a sitcom. It's a sitcom. You being buddies with that guy and going through the world with him, with him making.
It'd be like it's like in Curb. It's Larry David and what's his name?
JB Smooth.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
That's right. You'd live together.
What I'm telling you is that I can't write a better skit than what just happened on our show, where we're telling the audience this is a man who judges people correctly for football teams. That's the whole setup. It's the whole. If I were writing a comedy hour on how to do this, let me bring somebody in who's a doctor. I'm going to inform the audience he's a doctor and he's the leadership coach. It's unlike most guests we do around here. It's not a normal thing. Anybody who's been listening to our show might have been suspicious from the beginning. Why are they even doing this? This isn't something that they normally do. Why is this person on? Just in general, our audience might have been surprised by that guest. To have that go that way, stunned into silence for the first time in my career at the end of it, old freedom fighter Dan, just so stunned that he cannot speak.
Never really been part of true racism where you could stand up and fight, Dan. Only in theory.
I'm on the front lines.
You were silent.
Silenced by Fred Johnson and his doctor credentials.
You always think that when you see somebody robbing somebody else, you're like, I'm going to step in and do something about it. And then they run off with the person. You're like, I'm frozen.
Do you think we could hear it in your voice when you said goodbye?
I didn't know. I don't remember. I blacked out. I don't remember how I said goodbye. I think my eyes were closed. I was trying to figure out how,
I was embarrassed.
Through the height of both offense and embarrassment, do I respond without embarrassing everybody involved?
He thought it was an excellent joke. He was like, he said, I need to be able to dish it out.
Yeah,
and I dished it.
Yeah, he was like, yeah.
He was like,
said
clip
could dish
this,
it out
y'all.
too.
Look, what a bad day for Dan's inner monologue to not be here. Goodness gracious alive.
That would have been great. For that to make an appearance during Dr. Fred Johnson.
My God. Who feels worse right now, you or him?
I think my boy flying high right now. He told us, all right, y'all. F with me.
I think I feel worse. I think he doesn't know what's coming.
Picturing
his
Ron
way
Burgundy
yet.
after he says, go bleep yourself, San Diego. He's like, good show, everyone. Yep, good job.
Yeah, like, is he saying to himself, I thought they were going to have me on for longer?
His goodbye did make it seem like he was like, ooh, did I do something wrong?
I could see him mouthing still. He was on Zoom, and I'm like, we need to either go to break or, like, we need him off Zoom.
Good times.
Any other catchphrase questions?
States. What's up with the states?
Let's go
States. I invented that 4 years ago, right before the World Cup, I believe, which is coming up in a month or so, a couple of months. I was tired of the USA chant, and so I invented Let's Go States as an alternative to USA, Let's Go States.
It hasn't caught on.
It hasn't quite caught on, but at the same time, Mike Ryan told me that he heard the crowd chanting that at Live nightclub in Miami. So it has caught on a little bit.
I think he said he started the chant.
Well, nevertheless, it was heard. Mike Ryan, a big fan of the catchphrases. I'm sorry to miss him today.
Everyone is.
Yeah, thank you.
One paper hanger.
Oh, one-arm paper hanger. We had, on our current episode that just came out, we had Field Yates on, the ESPN guy, talking about the draft. And I said, Field, special thanks for you being on at this time of year because you're busy in a one-arm paper hanger. What that means, paper hangers, they were a thing. I don't even know if kids nowadays know what a paper hanger is. But
Put it on the poll at Levitard Show. Do kids today know what a paper hanger is?
Yeah, you'd be on a stepladder with wallpaper, which had glue on one side of it. And with a particular brush, you'd be hanging paper. And it was a two-handed job, to say the least. And so if you're busier than a one-arm paper hanger, it's like being the alternative to that is I'm busier than a one-legged punter. You can't punt with one leg, and you can't hang wallpaper with one arm. So that was a natural for me. I wanted to invent something that said busy.
That's actually not busy. If you can't do it, then you're not busy.
I know, but if you can do it, it would
If
take,
you had to do it with
yes,
one arm.
Right. I'm busier than a one-arm paper hanger. What's busier than that?
Well, I wouldn't be that busy. I'd be so focused on doing this thing that's hard to do. I probably wouldn't be that busy.
Well, let's not split hairs.
That kind of thing.
Exactly. Well said.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is a one-legged punter busiest?
Imagine being a one-legged punter.
Yes or no?
You would be working so hard. I would love to see somebody try it. If you're out there with one leg and you aspire to be a professional football player as a punter, chase your dream.
No, don't do that.
Chase your
the
dream.
physics are against you. You won't be able to do it.
Probably be hard to chase anything.
The one-legged man has been told all his life he can't do it.
Because he can't. Because
Well,
he
yes,
needs
can.
the
Hop to your dream.
No,
Exactly. You said it. I did.
Greg, the one-legged punter needs to get some of the power from the other leg. It's not, you cannot, what you're describing is not a physical possibility. There is no possibility of somebody who's a one-legged punter being able to successfully punt in the NFL.
He's been told that his whole life.
If he gets past the initial punt coverage, it'd be tough to count on him to,
He's not making any tackles.
be the last man.
No, he's not making any tackles. But
Not even
Dan,
tripping people.
Last
Dan,
line
so
of defense.
It's
tough.
physically.
It's a penalty.
It is
It's a
physically
penalty, exactly.
possible. It is physically possible.
No.
To punt with
No,
one leg.
but not professionally, not well. Like you can.
I didn't say well. I didn't say he's busier than a one-legged, excellent Pro Bowl punter.
I don't think physics
I said-
can allow you to punt with just one leg.
That's correct.
I'm going to try to do it like
No,
how
you,
it looks.
you, you
throw
could
it up and
probably.
just be like,
No, you can
Right.
do it.
but you got two legs. You
There's
did it with
no,
two legs.
There's no hang time.
I
You
can
can
do
do
it
it.
with
You
one
can.
leg. This is one
You
leg.
can do it, but you're gonna land. You're gonna land on your ass.
You
you
can
know?
jump, essentially.
You will
Like-
land on
7-yard
your rump.
punts.
Yeah, you'll
And,
land on
and
your
again,
rump.
and again, it's 4-yard punt. Like,
You know,
you're gonna kick
not
it into the
necessarily.
line a lot. Like
All of a sudden, he's going to punt and he's going to be lying. He's going to he fell and he's just lying on the ground.
You would fall after contact. That's true.
No,
But that doesn't
no,
mean you.
I'll-
You ball at the punting.
I'll even grant you that we've got such a remarkable acrobat that he's able every time to jump up with one leg, kick a football, and then land on that same leg. I'll even grant you that.
Thank you.
The ball's going 4 yards.
Nope. It's going 28 yards with hang time. That's because he's got power in that leg.
No, there's so many. There's so many shanks.
He is right about this.
No.
I know where he's going.
When
He's
you have
right
one
about
leg,
this.
yeah, I'm with him
You
on
have
that.
a stronger leg if you got
Yes.
one leg.
Thank you.
If the quadriplegic guy can kill somebody while driving, anything's possible.
He was driving?
Yeah.
It was a drive-by?
Yeah.
Drive-by.
Yep, that's right.
No way. Duh, that can't
Yeah.
be true.
The cornhole guy.
The cornhole guy was
Yeah.
was a drive-by shooting?
Well,
It was not a drive.
okay. He can.
What are we doing?
He steers with stubs for.
Okay, but how about the gun?
Into the mic.
Let's not do
And
this.
he also
Let's not,
does this with
you
the
know what?
cornhole bag.
That's one I don't want near the mic. That one I don't want any closer to the mic than Dr. Fred Johnson
Doesn't
was.
even crack the top 5 for problematic shit this hour.
I was asked about one-legged punter. I explained it. That's all.
No, you weren't. You were asked about the one arm
One-arm
paper,
paper
hanger.
hanger.
Oh yeah, right. One-arm paper hanger.
I think we got to retire that one. As more we peel back the onion, the less it holds water.
Okay,
truly.
I will say that it's more realistic to be a one-arm paper hanger than it is to be a one-legged punter. But again, the people out there with one leg, and there are dozens.
Again, we're doing this.
Dozens.
I
Like the
respect
cats.
them, and I say chase your dream.
Just a comp.
If you want to be a one-legged
I'm
punter,
saying
go do
don't
it.
chase your dream.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't like that.
I'm actively
like that.
look.
First off, you didn't stop racism when it happened, and now you're against one-legged people, like
Yeah.
chasing their dreams.
Really
Can you imagine?
prejudiced. Yeah.
Greg,
Yeah.
sick.
No, it's
Twisted.
very disappointing.
Crazy town.
You got to stand up for it. We don't even call them handicapped anymore, by the way.
Oh,
we don't
dear
call them
God.
Okay.
handicapped. They may be disadvantaged
All right,
by their
no,
physical
don't- Greg,
abilities,
Greg,
but
just-
You're going to power through, Dan.
Greg, just stop.
I'm
Stop
just,
cooking.
just stop.
I'm standing up for the man who stands up on one leg.
I'm behind Greg.
Thank you. And women, the one-legged women out there. You know, flag football is happening. You
Like in The
wanna punt.
Sopranos.
Yeah. Right. I've said nothing wrong. I explained one-legged punter,
Yet nothing right.
one-legged paper hanger.
Flag football is out there.
It's an odd
it-
one.
In other words, women can be one-legged punters too. That's all I'm saying.
He's an ally.
Thank you. Roy. Neil Rogers, Uncle Neil.
Enjoy that swig. Take a swig.
I got nothing left.
That's what it's gonna say on his tombstone. We got to put that on the tombstone. Put that among the nominees. I got nothing left. Him petering out when we're still on live, taking vigorous swigs.
Vigorous.
When
Casual swigs.
When dropping Hall of Fame gold nonstop on the one-legged punter, who's not physically possible and cannot chase his dreams, literally or otherwise, because the physics of kicking a football require the second leg and the power of the glutes and everything else, and you're not going to have it if you're just swinging it without the ability to swing another leg. The physics of it. That's the most perfectly placed catchphrase of all time.
I have one more, and I will circle back to punt. But not gonna take a quiz is the last one that I have on my list.
Yeah, not going to take a quiz. That's actually something I generally say as an excuse for I have no idea what you just asked me. You know, I'm not going to take a quiz as a way of saying I don't know without really admitting it.
If you haven't heard him on the show, whenever we've trapped him in something and we know that he doesn't know something, that is when he declines to take the quiz. It's 100% truth test. If he declines to take the test, it's an admission without being an admission.
Yeah, and I'll give you an example. If somebody asked me right now, name 5 starters for the Milwaukee Brewers, okay? I can't do it, but I don't want to appear stupid, so I'm going to say I'm not going to take a quiz, as if insulted by the question, not flummoxed by it.
Who is the Marlins starting third baseman?
No,
See?
let's not do this to him. That's not the game he wants to play. Yeah,
I was trying to tee him up to say it. I mean, give it to me.
He'd say it if he knew
Put it in my veins. No, I meant say the phrase.
No, the Milwaukee Brewers I don't know. The Marlins I know.
So who's their third baseman?
But I'm not going to take a quiz.
So there you go.
And punt, if you're asking, is just during football games. Anytime there's a punt, he just says the word very low. Punt.
Right.
But no, and it's not just any time there's a punt. And this will be part of the wonderful experience tomorrow night. I don't know what's going to happen when we're interfering Greg Cody's workday. This is an important time of year. Zad, you had some questions when he was trying to get an army of thousands to make him a cup of coffee. You had a question about how seriously he takes draft night. But this is an important time of the year to him. He takes pride in beating Mel Kiper Jr. every year. And so I don't know what catchphrases are going to make an appearance tomorrow night during our watch party. But punt is something that he says that way when the ball makes contact at the precise time that it makes contact with the foot, and it is meant to recreate the sound that the ball makes when it hits the foot. So he does it in NFL games whenever there's a punt at exactly the moment the ball hits the punter's foot.
Right, and I do that at all times. Like my wife and I will be watching a game on TV, and I'll go punt. Because to me, it's the sound that the foot on ball makes.
Kind of an onomatopoeia situation?
Yeah, you could say that.
I don't know that you could say that. Put it on the poll
Thank you, Tony.
At Batard Show, Juju. Does the word punt sound like the ball hitting the foot during a punt?
It sure does. I don't want to influence the jury, but that.
What about the one-legged
98%.
punt? Does that sound any different?
I don't know. I've never seen.
A little softer?
I've never witnessed
Like a
a
pooch?
one-legged punt.
So I do have a couple questions.
Yeah.
I see that your mock draft came out today.
Mm-hmm.
Very big day for you.
Actually, it came out yesterday afternoon. It's
Today in print.
Today. Yeah.
So are you specifically going, do you specifically go after Mel Kiper? That's my first question. Is it specifically about being better than Mel Kiper?
I use him as an example because he's King Kiper. You know, when you think of mock drafts, you think of Mel Kiper. He didn't invent the mock draft, but he was at the forefront of it. And I've been doing mine since 1991, so I've been doing it a lot longer than 90% of everybody who does a mock draft now, which is everybody and their mother. But
the inventor of the mock draft is?
I like to think of it as Joel Buxbaum.
Karl Mock.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, next question.
Gene
How
Mock, former,
many
baseball manager? What?
exactos are when you get the pick right? How many of those is a successful draft for you?
Exactos are the correct player to the correct team or in the correct draft order. Okay?
Remember, there's a difference between an exacto and a zagacto.
Well, the exacto has come to be known as the zagacto. They are the same, though. Now, the super zagacto is when you get exact player to exact team in exact order. Okay, last year I got 9 of those. I led Junior the entire draft.
You just created a super zagacto. No, it's exacto and zagacto.
I don't think
We've been
I've
doing this for years.
I don't think I've ever heard of a super Zagato.
No, I think I've heard of a super one.
No,
Brand
but I want it. He's got to evolve in the modern age.
I think last year he had super Zagato.
Yeah, the super zagacto is the trifecta. Right player to right team in right order.
You had 9 of those last year?
I had 9. Junior, I led him 9-7 late in the draft. He hit 2 late and ended up beating me 11-9. I had beat him 3 previous years, but he edged me out last year. So I'm out for blood tomorrow night.
I feel like 9 is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
9 super Zagactos?
Yeah. Yeah, and now the only gimme in the entire draft is Fernando Mendoza at number 1. That's the only gimme because there's even debate on number 2. Will it be?
We've been talking about
Reese, will it be Bailey?
The respect on the name thing. Him calling Mel Kiper Jr. again and again is a bar.
Also called him King Kiper.
But Junior.
Yeah, I like alliteration, and I give him respect. You know, this is the difference between he and I. He makes a yearly cottage industry of this mock draft. That's all he does. Mel, what do you do for a living? I do mock drafts. You don't hear anything about Mel for 10 months of the year, but then he's omnipresent this time of year, whereas I don't do film study. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't talk to scouts. I might call up somebody I know in a opposing city and say, hey, who do you hear the Packers might be taking? But I'm not. You know, I do look at other people's drafts, but I don't follow their drafts. That's why Kiper and I always differ on so many.
Do you guys think we set a record for so many offensive things said this hour in the history of our show? Was this a record-breaking hour? Did we just produce a record-breakingly offensive hour?
We did it, everybody.
It's a play on for me.
Folks, listen up. The NBA playoffs are here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is boosting every game day all postseason long. Playoff stars turn it up round by round, and DraftKings turns it up too, with a profit boost available every game day from the first round through the finals. New Sportsbook customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DAN. That's code DAN. Turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets instantly. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.